Good morning, everybody. This is MK, and I'm back with Unit 3 for Resource Use and Sustainability, Geography, Grade 9. Food resources. Concept of food security, local, regional, and global examples. Food security exists when all people have access to sufficient, safe, nutritious food to maintain a healthy and active life at all times. The concept of food security is defined as including both physical and economic access to food that meets people's dietary needs. Food security is built on three concepts: food availability, consistently having enough food, food access and having enough resources to get that food, and food use, which is having the knowledge and means to use that food nutritiously. Global food security. There is enough food in the world to feed everyone adequately. The problem is distribution. Worldwide, around 850 million people are chronically hungry due to extreme poverty, while up to 2 billion people lack food security from time to time due to varying degrees of poverty. Here we have the 2022 Global Hunger Index. Food security in South Africa. South Africa ranks among the countries with the highest rate of income inequality in the world. Compared to other middle-income countries, South Africa has extremely high levels of absolute poverty. The South African government has committed itself to addressing this problem. Achieving household food security is important in meeting this objective. (17.3% of South Africans were affected by moderate to severe food insecurity, while almost 7% experienced severe food insecurity in 2019. School feeding schemes. At local level, the government has introduced feeding schemes in schools where learners do not have food security at home. The National School Nutrition Program aims to foster better quality education by enhancing children's active learning capacity, alleviating short-term hunger, and providing an incentive for children to attend school regularly. Role of science and technology in food production. Factory farming, raising livestock at high density. Factory farming is the process of raising livestock, especially chickens and cattle, in confinement at high stocking density. A farm therefore operates as a factory. Animal rights activists say most of the world's farm animals live in miserable conditions. High output is achieved by subjecting the animals to intense and prolonged suffering. They live short, barren lives, spent in cages, crates, overcrowded sheds and narrow stalls. There is no guarantee of a humane death. Keywords: high stock density, when many animals or birds are kept in a small area. Salmonella is a form of food poisoning causing diarrhea, vomiting, and cramps. Have a look here at the advantages and disadvantages of factory farming. Genetic modification of crops. Genetic modification of crops has been taking place for many years. For example, a farmer will breed from the best bull in the herd. Tomatoes are bred from varieties that are firm and do not squash easily. Genetic engineering. This is a recent innovation. It is the direct human manipulation of an organism's genome using modern DNA technology. It involves the introduction of foreign DNA or synthetic genes into the plant or animal. By doing this, certain properties can be inserted into the host plant or animal. For example, a maize plant can be genetically engineered to be resistant to the stalk borer beetle, which causes much damage to our maize harvest. Yields from crops and animals can be considerably increased by genetic engineering. Another example is cotton farming. In South Africa, 90% of the 3,000 small-scale cotton farmers use genetically modified cotton, which is resistant to the cotton bollworm pest, as it produces a naturally occurring pesticide. There is a lot of opposition to genetic engineering of crops and animals, with ecologists saying not enough research has been done on its effects. However, most scientists now say that its benefits outweigh its disadvantages. Have a look here at the disadvantages and advantages of genetic modification. Sustainable farming, appropriate technologies and farming techniques. Sustainable agriculture is farming using principles of ecology, the balance between plants and animals and the environment. It is a system of plant and animal production that will last over the long term and benefit future generations. It must satisfy human food and fiber needs, make the most efficient use of non-renewable resources and on-farm resources, and use, where possible, natural biological cycles and controls. Sustain economic profitability. Improve the quality of life for farmers and society as a whole. Sustainable farming is not farming with large inputs of chemical fertilizers, herbicides and pesticides. It's not using farming practices like monoculture that reduce soil fertility. It's not overgrazing that leads to soil erosion. It's also not making as much profit as possible without caring for the future. It's not wasting scarce resources such as water. And lastly, it is not farming without caring for the environment. Appropriate technology. This is a small-scale technology. It is simple enough that people can manage it directly on a local level. Appropriate technology makes use of skills and technology that are available in a community to supply basic human needs, such as electricity, water, food, and waste disposal. In farming, it means machines that are easy to use, well constructed, and require limited skills for repair. An example of appropriate technology in farming is the bicycle-powered water pump to help irrigation farmers in remote places where there is no electricity. The machine can pump 40 liters of water per minute, and locals like the design because it is portable and the pump sits on top of the back wheel, so you can ride off to the next well. The machine is now in regular production in Guatemala. Sustainable farming techniques. Crop rotation is the practice of moving different crops on the same land. If this process was not done, harmful organisms and other pests would spread. Cover crops are planted when the land is not being used, for example in winter, or are planted between rows of crops. They retain soil moisture and reduce soil erosion. Soil enrichment involves adding natural fertilizers such as manure to increase soil fertility. Introducing natural pest predators. Most destructive insects have a natural enemy. Using pesticides usually also kills the natural predator. And we have come to the end of this session. Thank you for watching and most importantly learning. This is MK's class, signing out.